popular adult film star in the world, but she has not shot in 3 years. She's a sweetheart and happens to be dating and doing my best friend, Mike. Please welcome Lana Rhoades.
Yeah! Yeah! Wow.
This is going to be great. I don't think we've ever had a... Wow, you guys are really eyeing each other up right off the bat, huh?
She doesn't want to wear the headphones. How do you feel about that?
You're one of, I think, 3 guests to have not done that.
Who were the other ones?
I think Steve-O was one.
Yeah, because he was like doing backflips and shit.
And putting his balls in between his legs and yeah.
Yeah.
But why don't you want to wear headphones?
It always like gives me anxiety whenever I do this.
Hearing yourself?
No, just like having like it's like changing my senses, I guess, like putting them over my ears, and it's just like
Really?
It doesn't feel like, I don't know, it just makes it
Really?
I don't know the word. Okay.
I feel like I could relate. It's almost like the first like few shows when I'd put them on, it's almost like you're stuck in your own head. Like it blocks off like any like outside noise, and you really have to get comfortable like being in your own.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So
I also just made that up to make her feel better. To be honest.
should I call you by your stage name or real name?
I don't care, either one's fine. I mean, if you Google Lana Rhoades' real name, Amara shows up.
I'll call you Lana. All right, Lana. Before the podcast started today, you were sitting on one of those love sacks over there with Mike, and I heard you say the following sentence: "My cooter's bleeding."
Great. So now everyone knows I'm on my period.
Well, I was just gonna ask, like, how are you feeling?
Honestly,
during these
yesterday I
trying
had some
times?
really serious cramps after me and Mike's lovemaking session. Today I'm feeling fine though.
You're very vocal about your lovemaking session with Mike, and I want to definitely dive
Wait,
into.
you were the one like a couple days ago, like questioning us about our sex life.
I'm very inquisitive.
Yeah, you're very.
I'm intrigued.
inquisitive.
He knows how to ask the right questions.
Well, like you posted this on Twitter. Got that bomb dick last night.
It was true. It was really good.
But it's crazy because like I know that bomb dick is my friend, and
I have a name.
it's just a fascinating dynamic that you do have.
And she's got my shirt on in it too, which she has now claimed as her
By
shirt.
the way, I'm gonna need that back.
I'm just getting washed right now.
Yes, please wash it because my dryer's broken.
Have you ever been used to a relationship, the intimate part of it being this
Like
public?
it's so weird. It's so weird for me. Like I've watched other people go through it, like Banks and Alyssa, your brother multiple times, you with Chloe.
But even not, especially not me. Even they aren't as vocal about their sex life,
about the sex
you know?
portion of it. Yeah, I mean it's been interesting. I guess I've kind of looked at it as kind of like just like a fun thing. I'm so I'm such an open person. I think both of us are. We're so willing to like exploit our lives for content.
I don't think Mike really cares though. Like for example, whenever he got his weenie sucked.
She's talking about the infamous cheating scam.
We don't need to talk about it.
Of course.
She said that he had a small dick, and he was like, "Babe, can you please tweet that my dick is not small?" And I was like, "No, this is your problem. I'm not gonna do it."
That's great. That's almost instant karma.
So I would say that Mike almost wants me to tell. Oh, and on the podcast that we did the other day, he was like, "Babe, go into detail. Tell them how good I am."
I
I'm
did?
like, yeah, you did.
Oh,
And like you wanted me to be so graphic, and it's just like I don't talk like that.
I
But
said that?
it is very good, babe.
Babe.
Wow. What makes it so great?
Oh, see, this is good. This is when you could actually utilize that non-discretion.
Like why that
Do you want to tell them what I tell you?
Yeah, go ahead. Okay.
No, you tell them.
Nah, you tell
It's
them.
hard
If
for
I
me to
say
say
it, trust
stuff
me.
like
If I say
that.
it, I'll be eaten by the audience.
You have to say
quite
it.
literally.
It's so personal, though.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if that argument applies
With you, yeah.
I feel shy now even to post nudes on my Twitter.
I was gonna ask you
so-
about that.
So I'm like, I don't know. Like everyone's like, you should be fine just doing anything, but I'm not.
I totally get that. And when I talk to people about you, I say Amara, who's like his girlfriend, and Lana Rhoades are completely
Two
different
different
people.
people,
Like
yeah.
like truthfully, the stage name that you have in Lana Rhoades, I didn't know what to expect the first time I met you when I brought you into Surprise Mike, and you're so much more chill and sweet in real life than I would have expected.
Thank you.
Babe, come on. You're usually yapping up a storm. You were on a podcast the other day with us. You talked the whole time.
You talk the whole time.
What?
Like all that you ever want to do is talk about yourself.
Why did I know this was gonna turn into a
Do you
roast
guys
session?
want to know something? Mike
Oh,
knows,
please.
Mike knows nothing about me, but I know everything about him.
So what do you see in him?
I mean, he's sweet sometimes. He's sweet a lot of times.
Yeah.
Besides, whenever I have a problem with something, then he always tells me that there's nothing wrong, and that's what really annoys me about him.
What?
Like, for example, whenever we went to that restaurant the other day and they upset me talking about my pants, he was like, no, babe, you should agree with them. Like, everything's fine. Like, I want him to be more like, yeah, babe, you're right. Like, that was
give you a
fucked
pat
up.
on the butt and be like, you got this, babe, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just wants
Like,
me to support her unconditionally.
It's always my fault. Like,
I'm sure
everything.
not always. I think what you're describing is a relationship, and you guys have to find the balance. But both of you, because if he's making a point that particular circumstance, I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure all my boyfriends in the past have been like, yeah, babe, you're right.
Well, of
She's
course,
definitely dated like a lot of more like, this is Lana Rhoades, I'm just gonna lay down and take whatever she's offering type guys. Like I just tell her what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like when she argues with me about dumb shit or what I consider to be dumb shit, I'm like, yo, this is dumb shit, and I'm not willing to have this argument with you. And she's like, fine, I'm fucking leaving. And we argue for a little bit, and then she leaves, and then she calls me 5 minutes later and says, babe, I didn't want to leave. Can I come back now? And I'm like, absolutely, come on back, but you're driving or paying for your own Uber because I didn't make that fucking stupid argument happen.
You said you would pay for my Uber back, and you did make that argument happen.
What are you trying to do right now?
See,
All you do all day is literally sit in front of me and tell me how great I am, and then you come on the show just to roast me. Like, what the fuck is happening right now? You couldn't even explain why it's bomb dick.
Yeah,
I feel like it fits really well.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Like, it's probably the best feeling one for my vagina that I've had.
It's like one of those it's a good fit.
Yeah.
It's a good fit.
That's cool. Maybe that means you guys are meant to be. Because I'm sitting in between you right now, and to be honest, it doesn't feel like you're a couple.
She's being mean today. I think she takes this route when she tries to like produce like quick comedy, like that she wants to just hit some bangers.
It's funny though.
Maybe it's just like defensive because I don't want to talk about myself.
You are the
Thinking
guest of
about
the
Mike.
show.
I know.
Well, no, but she's also more than the guest of the show. You know, you're part of the family now. It's like it doesn't have to. We can talk about whatever you want. What do you want to talk about?
That's interesting. I could give you some
Do you
lead
guys have
offs.
any questions?
Yeah,
that you
I
wanna
have
ask me?
tons. So you said she's part of the family now, and you are, and it started as a vlog, right? Like it started as a vlog. I brought you in to surprise my friend Mike with you, and now all of a sudden you're dating him.
Yeah, we're dating. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
right?
It is
Especially
crazy.
Remember, you asked me in the car. You were like, "In any way, would you ever like be attracted to Mike or like Mike?" And I was like, "No fucking way."
You said you don't like white guys.
Yeah.
Because you used her last husband and people
He
before
was
that.
he was Assyrian. He wasn't white.
Right.
It's different.
And I was like the only white guy that you ever.
Well, I dated that other white guy.
Every story I have just collapses under the pressure of truth.
Yeah, I told you this.
I'm just kidding.
Has it been weird being integrated into our world and like this weird shit that goes on at this house?
I'm not really used to like living like a normal life, I guess. So it's not like that different for me.
That's maybe why you fit in. Like we're all kind of just misfits.
You know what's weird too? Remember I told you this before? Like I felt really comfortable with you guys, like just off the bat. Like usually I have like really, really bad anxiety like around new people, and I won't talk at all.
I wanted to do my best to be as respectful as possible
Yeah.
because I know like given your previous line of work, I'm sure people treat you a different way, act a certain way towards you, even like that situation you were describing at the restaurant.
Yeah.
But can you elaborate on that a little bit?
mean, the host is at the restaurant. I don't
The hostess
wanna,
of the restaurant sitting right there.
So it's making the conversation difficult.
No, but you just
I mean, it might not have been the reason because we found out later that there was like another girl
Yeah.
who was wearing like a similar outfit. Like literally like it was black pants with like cutouts. And then like
the issue was there was too much skin on your butt that was showing. That's what they were saying?
Yeah, but I mean these pants were like there wasn't really anything wrong
Let's
with
look at-
them.
let's look at it.
That's sort of why like I internalized it as like they were discriminating against me because he knew who I was, and I felt like they might have looked different on me than on someone else just because who I was. But then there was another girl who I don't think is in the same line of work as me, who was wearing a similar outfit, and they told her that she couldn't wear that too, but she thought that it was because the color of her skin. So we
Whoa.
both Because like both of our outfits weren't bad, so we
Yeah.
felt like discriminated against. But I'm not sure if that was the case.
Both you felt slighted. I mean, who knows if there's like actual validity in it, and there might be.
I'm wondering though if it's the same guy, and he just was like, they're too hot, they can't be here.
They're too hot.
Let's look at it as a holistic issue.
She
Though.
was she was a nice looking girl.
Have you dealt with that kind of stuff like in other parts of your life, and like what has it been like? I feel like we haven't given much context because we brought her in as a friend. Like, have we talked like to any of the viewers about like how long did you work for? How did you get started? How long did you shoot for? And how long have you been out for? Like, give us like a quick like 30-second like context that doesn't hurt me. She's like, well, my favorite performer that I went.
Okay, so whenever I turned 19, well, I've been working adult like since I was like 16. Not
Sorry,
like,
what's that now?
Not like porn
Okay.
though, but like I was like dancing from like 16. Like I had like sugar daddies online whenever I was 16.
Wait, really?
That's
But
definitely not legal.
I was still a virgin. Like I never slept with anyone.
So you were just hustling?
Yeah. I used to like to get like my first pair of like stripper shoes. I like found like guys on Craigslist that lived in like different states and like gave them a different
I don't
name.
even know these stories, by the way. I have no.
And I think like I used the name Danny, and I was just talking to them, and I'm like, and they'd like I'd like pick out stripper shoes that I wanted, and they'd send them to me, and then like I'd send them pictures of like my feet in them, and I was like 16, and so I got like my first pair of stripper shoes, and I went to the strip club.
What are stripper shoes?
Like heels?
Like the clear like shoes,
Oh,
like the
okay.
big heels, yeah. And my mom saw them and she was like, "What are these for?"
Yeah.
And like she's seen that they're for a different name, and she was like really confused. And I was just like, "They're for my friend."
Was that before or after you were kidnapped by the hippie mafia? Because that happened as well, right?
Yeah.
So explain that. How old were you?
It was like around the same time.
Okay, so can you explain this?
You were a troubled teenager, is it safe to say? Or maybe you just didn't find your way right off the bat?
I had like something happen like earlier on, and before that I was like a really good kid. Like I was in cheerleading, like I was just like perfect. And then I had like this trauma, and then I found it like hard to fit in with people. And so I found like these other people that were just really accepting of everyone. And it was these hippies, but they were actually like criminals. They weren't real hippies.
Oh, shit. hippie criminals, those are the worst kind.
Yeah, and then that's whenever like they like put me on to like stripping, like go get money for us. Like, all
Oh,
this
that's
stuff.
how it started?
Yeah.
Wait, so you were working for them in a way?
Yeah, and like they were like doing other stuff like to
Tell-
get money for everyone. It was like a group effort.
And what
Wait, it was
brought
a group effort to bring a collective of money to the whole?
Yeah, I guess it was a gang of hippies.
So you could do what? As the gang?
Just like, I don't know, just probably for them to buy drugs. I don't know.
Was the leader
I
named
never got-
Charles
I never
Manson
got-
by the chance?
I never got anything out of any of it.
Why did you do that? Just because there was a group of people to fit in with?
She was
Yeah, I guess,
15.
like, I feel like whenever you're younger, like, belonging and having friends is more important than it is whenever you're an adult. And so then, like, I was kind of like my sister, how she's like, I just want to hang out with my friends. And so that was, like, my most important thing whenever I was that age, was just, like, having friends, I guess. I don't know. I don't feel like that now, obviously. I'm, like, a complete loner.
What was the trauma? Do you feel comfortable talking about it?
I probably can't.
You don't-
I haven't even told Mike about
You don't
it.
have to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you don't have to. And that eventually led to you being the small person that got put through windows to rob houses at one point, right? Is that what it was?
I've never talked about this
Oh.
on camera, Mike.
Well,
People don't know you're...
Well, people know that I went to prison for like a year from like 16 to 17. Or like almost 18, actually.
as a result of that, what I just talked about, right?
Yeah. And like
You were the lookout of this
well, they
armed
sort of
robbery.
Clan of hippies. They're like, bump up the Jimi Hendrix boys. We got a house to rob today. Put the little girl through the window and we'll make out with all the bricks.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on out there? Yo, imagine me the first time I'm hearing this story. I'm in a new relationship. She's like, before I started doing porn when I was about 16, I was a house robber with the hippie mafia. And I'm like, sorry, could you just play that back one more fucking time? But it's part of the overall story of me and her, because I said this on No Jumper, and I've said it on a couple other podcasts as well. Her stories, while crazy, are only as crazy as my craziest stories. Do you know what I'm saying? Not even. And so a lot of her like, yo, what the fuck is she talking about fits in well with my what the fuck is he talking about, and you end up with these two people who have very troubled pasts but are now in very, very good places. As you can tell from a business and a financial standpoint, she was able to use the industry for what it was worth for her, and then now she's an Instagram model just like anyone else, and she's got 8.5 million followers, and she gets crazy engagement, and she's got a Lamborghini and an R8 and an E63 Mercedes and a Range Rover and 2 houses, and she's crushed it, you know. And so she was able to pick up the pieces of her past and turn it into something that is wilder than most people will ever accomplish in their entire life. And so it's one of the really attractive things to me about her is just how she was able to flip that.
What do you think of that?
Thanks, babe. You said it pretty well.
I'm trying to help you because I do. The unfortunate thing, especially when it comes to anxiety or even just mood, is like some days she will talk a lot, and I don't know if it's the rain or the weather or the set or something, but she's being shy today.
Well, it's also because we're interacting on the set of a podcast, not like as friends. Like I'm here to ask you questions that I kind of already know some of the answers to.
It's more like the setting too. Like it's like very clinical, and like that's what's like giving me anxiety. Like it sounds so stupid, but the sign, like the table.
Really?
Is it? Do we not?
Can we turn this light off?
No. Is there? Well, is there a chance? Like, is there a chance that she's the only person that's mentioned this, and we have a cold studio? I mean, it is a very. It's cold or hot? No, it's just a very.
Maybe if Ginger sits next to me, it'll make me feel better. Is there like something that I can cuddle with? Like,
I'm gonna give you Kong. Rest in peace, by the way.
R.I.P. Kong. I mean, have we not thought about this? Is the set intimidating, Dylan?
I actually feel so much better now.
All podcast sets are. Now she's holding Kong. Is this why she cuddles you? Is it because
she's always cuddling me, constantly?
Is he a good cuddler?
He's really good. And I saw an impulsive.
What the fuck?
What is that? Hold on. Stop. We got walkies.
Yeah, received. I saw it. Over.
This is Kilo. This is Kilo in position 8. It seems like we've got a compromised liability on the set. I'm gonna need someone to come in with a test immediately.
Get on the Corona kits ASAP. Over.
On the way. Over.
All right, cool. Anyways.
What was that cough?
Yeah, you feeling okay? Because we know Mike had an upper respiratory block and a severe dry cough. But it's not like those are the 2 main symptoms of a global virus.
I'm the one who gave it to him. I think it's passed for both of us. We might have actually had Corona earlier on.
I'm telling you this because y'all are doing missionary sex. Y'all, because you're coughing in each other's faces this close.
It started in Miami at Jake Paul's fight. That's where it all started.
Remember I was super sick and I didn't want to go out?
Oh, I do remember that, yeah.
That's whenever it started for me, and then I gave it to him, and that's what he was sick with, like, last week.
It's crazy to imagine that, like, within, like, a week of knowing her, that we end up on this, like, journey to Miami together. And we're locked up in a room with you and the girl that you were talking to.
I think that's why it worked, though, because, like, when you're in a tight space like that with someone, you bond very quickly. You know,
we had no
spending
choice.
a lot of time together. Yeah, exactly. Like I even walked in on you guys having sex once, and I say walked in, but I was in the kitchen.
We had sex for the first time on that trip.
And so, tell the story, Logan.
I was minding my business in the kitchen. You remember this?
Oh, yeah, that time.
Yeah.
I don't know if I wanted to. The point is, I just like saw you guys, you know, and it was like the second time, so it was just like a heated.
It was it's supposed to be an important moment, and you and you saw us, and you were very playful about the situation.
Honestly, I'm kind of happy that he stopped it because that was before me and Mike were having good sex, and it was just like so awful. Like I'm sort of happy that you intruded.
We got off to a bad start.
Dude, I mean, a lot of relationships are like that. It takes like a very particular chemistry set to match up during sex, and it sometimes doesn't happen right off the bat.
Yeah, the first 2 times, like, I thought, like, no way I'm gonna, like, date this guy or keep having sex with him because it was just so bad.
Yeah, I remember.
I was like, this is so awkward and, like, horrible.
we tried to not force it, but it was, like, in shared spaces. Like, it was either next to you or next to Riley Reid.
And
like,
you were being too, like hyper about it. Like literally the time that you like stopped us, he like he like ripped off his pants. I was like trying to do it, and he's like and like grabbed me.
Well, because
It
in
was
Mike,
like he hadn't had sex ever in his life.
well,
And I
in
was
Mike's
like-
defense, he was probably pretty fucking excited. Like, Lana, you are the #1 porn star in the world. I'm sure people come in with expectations for like what you're gonna do and what you're capable of.
And I don't do any of that. Like,
Any
honestly,
of it.
probably the first few times you have sex with me as well, like, I'm not going to be enthusiastic about it or do anything special because I don't like you enough yet. Like, for me, the more I'll do during sex depends on how much I like you.
Yeah.
How do you? I don't understand. Like, how do you turn that flip on? Like the Lana Rhoades that I saw on camera 3 years ago. Like, where does that come from?
Well, that's just basically like I wanted to be good at my job. So like I'd think of things, what can I say during a scene? How should I act during the scene
Really?
to make the scene better so that it sells better? And so, you know, I can excel in my career, I guess.
Yeah.
But did it feel like, did you enjoy it? Like,
Did it feel like work?
At one point, I think whenever I first started, I think I was like excited, you know, like new career, this, that. And then there was a point where I was excited about like my fans' reactions to my scenes and stuff, and like them saying, "Oh, you're so good! Like this was so great," and that made me feel good. But like sexually, it was like I never felt anything sexually during it. No.
yeah.
Interesting.
By the way, in my defense, the reason I was so excited, one of the reasons was one, obviously, because of what you said, because of it being her. But two, was we were in a room that had no door on it, staying with 3 other people in the fucking room. And when I found an opportunity, I was trying to fucking strike quickly.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
strike while the
saying?
iron's hot.
Exactly. And then, of course, you walked in this infamous scene of you interrupting, chairs being thrown, strangulation, and also a push.
I'll never stop Mike from busting a nut, right?
Yeah, you can't get in the way of that.
Yeah, that can get tricky. Anyway.
Now every time like that you call me crazy, like I just think of that because that was like the most over exaggerated reaction to something.
I
Like
flipped out.
I can get away with so much now.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know.
But that was like insane. Like
But
he
that
went
was also
from- he
between
went
him
from,
and
like-
I. That was all, and I pushed him. Like I assaulted my
Yeah,
friend.
but even before that, he was so mad. Like he went from 0 to 100.
No. He went from frustrated to very, very angry because I pushed him.
Yeah.
I think that was the-
it became like 2 men just going at it.
Yeah.
I think that was the closest I've been to getting to
Was that
actually
you guys'
getting.
worst fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
That
That was
I've never seen him like that. So
I felt like you guys were fighting a lot, like on that trip, and then now it's like settled down.
close quarters.
Yeah.
We're living in the same room together.
Like
that
you
was
guys,
that was
even
tough.
like the day before that, you guys were like clashing. Like
I don't think people understand the balance of being friends, business partners, vlog partners, podcast partners. Like I think people like watch the show turn on and they're like, this is their relationship. Like you guys see the tip of the iceberg of what this relationship is. The other 99.9% of it, unfortunately, is underwater. It's like even with us fully exploiting ourselves, like they don't know the daily back and forth of, you know, problems we're up against, business things we're up against, all of the dealings that go on, all the stuff that happens.
I'm even weary of that with you two because like I don't know anything about your relationship. All I know is like I introduce you guys and like I put you guys on the vlog sometimes. But every time you're like gone or you disappear, or even like when you put her in your content, like is it weird? I don't know, just like being having more of your life on the internet now, because you were typically pretty private.
Besides the stuff that
Besides
normal
the-
people keep private.
I don't feel like we're sharing anything that intimate, like in the vlogs. Like it's just like
Our last vlog,
just funny stuff.
my last vlog, you said you were trying to jerk Mike off at CVS.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's funny
It
though.
was
It's
funny.
not like an intimate detail.
Ah,
But it did actually happen.
I
though.
have more of a hard time sharing like actual personal stuff. Like that stuff's fine. Like it's not
it's
not really amounting to like who I am as a person. You know what I mean?
I feel like it is the polar opposite for everyone else on the
Really?
planet. I think so.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What do you mean? Of course
well,
it is.
I have a different perception of like what's socially acceptable, like sexually, like to say and what not to say. Like the lines like kind of blurred for me because of like my past. I
Yeah.
feel like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why did you start doing porn?
never know the answer to that question.
Really?
I just like one day I think I was like 14 and I just like got the idea and I was like, I'm gonna do that.
No way. But
Yeah.
surely you were,
How's that possible?
weren't you like conscious of what people would think of it? Like you happened to come out successful.
I feel like I knew that I was going to be though. Like just at 14, I was just like, you're gonna be like the #1 porn star. Do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, you had that. She thought about it
pretty
the
much.
same way you did of being the #1 entertainer.
Crazy.
Yeah, pretty much like everything.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. Seems like a wild time for a phone call, yeah?
Sorry.
Pretty much like everything that I knew that I was gonna do with my life whenever I was younger, like happened. Like exactly. Like it's kind of weird.
Manifestation. I'm
Yeah.
just so worried about the people who have like that goal in mind or
And then it
a
doesn't,
large
like,
goal, a massive goal
happen.
like that, and it does not happen. Like you got Lana,
But they
you're
got it-
a
they-
0.00001% when
They have to like know that it's like not gonna happen.
How did
Like,
you
I was-
know
I
that
was
at
just-
14,
I was just
though?
like
Yeah, that's what I'm
I was
saying.
just like 110% sure. Like my guidance counselors in school, my therapist was like, "That's not a good idea. Like you can't do
What?
that."
told-
Like,
you told him?
Wait.
Yeah.
You said you were but were you still a virgin at this point?
yeah, I was. So it didn't make sense at all. Like I hadn't even had my first kiss.
And wait, why did you tell your guidance counselor at school?
Because they're like, don't you want to focus on school? Like, don't you want to go to college? Like, you're gonna be a loser. Like, you're not gonna have any money. You're not gonna do anything. And I was like, no, I'm gonna do this, this, and this. And they're like, well, that's not gonna happen. Plus, like, you probably need therapy because who should do porn?
Whoa.
Yeah.
What the fuck? How would you know that you would even...
I feel like I'm missing like a key pocket of your life that would maybe explain a little bit more.
It's probably the thing that she's not talking about.
Probably, yeah.
Which is fine.
Because I've always been intrigued by this and by how you got to where you were. Because you also have this like hustler mentality where you quite literally like gamed the fuck out of the system, and you still are today.
I don't know. I just wake up every day and like work towards things. So
What
I
though?
feel
Is it? What are you chasing? Money? Is it?
right now I'm kind of like I was just telling you about this the other day. Like I'm sort of feeling down because I feel like eventually you get to a point where you're like already on a high level and then it's like, what do I do next?
Yeah.
And I like having a goal and waking up every day and working towards something, and I just don't have that right now, and it's making me feel a little like down and depressed.
What about a goal of just maintaining happiness?
Well, I think she's
But
saying
I
that
think
that
it-
happiness comes from...
Yeah, it comes from success and like achieving things, and I feel like if I think too much about happiness, then I'll be more depressed and sad.
This feeling is not uncommon, dude. Like we talk about it all the time. Steve Weatherford talked about it when he came on our podcast.
Absolutely.
He won the Super Bowl and he was in the locker room and he's like,
And then it's over. and
"What
you're like,
now?
What do I do
Yeah,
now?
that's it." And,
Yeah.
then he stopped playing football and became a motivational speaker. Tyson Fury won all the championship belts. He was at the top, and it's like, now what? Then he fell into a massive hole of depression and drugs.
Yeah, I honestly think like the climb to get to where you want to be is like the happiest
So
time.
fun, so fun.
And then once you get it, it's just like you just wake up in the morning and you're like, what's my fucking purpose?
Interesting.
I told her to pick a new goal because
But
obviously...
what do I do? Like, honestly, like the higher you get in your career or just in life, like you have less goals to choose from. And it's like, what is actually a realistic goal? Because you
Are
know what I
you
mean?
do you have any projects you're working on or anything, any endeavors that are undergoing in your life?
Nothing that I'm like really excited or like passionate about.
You maybe try to get one, and advice for
I
anyone
think
listening as well.
Sometimes like it'll just like pop in, then I'll be like, okay, that's it. But I haven't had any of those like moments lately.
She started shooting some YouTube content.
No, it's not for YouTube. It's for Pornhub.
But originally it was gonna... But
It's like YouTube content, but then it has sexual.
Tell 'em
undertones
about
in
it.
Basically, I decided to start shooting some vlogs, taking some inspiration from you guys.
Porn vlogs?
Yeah, porn vlogs, and then like I'm mixing like sex in with it.
But it's not like... It's like her and girls and toys. Like
Wait,
it's
so
all
you-
girl
wait, so
on
you're
girl.
having sex with other women?
This sounds so bad, but I'm really like bored of like doing sexual stuff on camera, and so it's mostly I'm inviting young girls who are still excited about having sex on camera, and then I have them do the flashing and sex on camera, and I just basically direct them.
Really?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, my friend, she'll like be doing a vlog, she'll have breakfast, she'll take her shower, and
But
then like
there-
some girl will stop by and that they'll be the one that like interacts sexually, and so that goes on porn. But the thing is the other day she had been talking about doing YouTube stuff as well, and if you look at especially the vlog that I put out, if you're watching this on Thursday, on Tuesday, 2 days ago, she took over the vlog at one point. It was Welcome to the Lana Show. And I wish I could I should pull this part up because it's so crazy how good she is when she gets rolling. It's just, I think like a lot of people
I know.
I think a lot of people out there watching this right now can relate to being shy or when you first get put onto something to having to feel it out. But she's great on I mean, she's great on,
Yeah.
I don't want to say
I
she's great on camera because most of the people watching this know that, but in a different respect.
It's different whenever I'm recording stuff for your vlog, though. Whenever it comes to like mine, I'm like, oh fuck, what do I do?
It's so much harder, right?
Yeah, it's so much
so
different.
much harder.
I feel like because you overthink it
It's
so much.
So
because you
much.
have to. You're thinking about everything, and
Yeah.
you sort of have to. Like you think about.
Like the
For me, anyways, the story, the lighting, like how
yeah.
you're gonna edit it. Because you did. I saw Mike showed me that cut you did. That jump cut, where you threw the clothes at the girl,
Oh,
and
the
she was
clothes on.
all of a sudden
Yeah.
in it. Like it's cool that you're like not just point and shoot all the time. And there's actually like a strategy that goes behind it. Is it hard for you to get into relationships? Like, was this hard for you?
I'm a relationship person, so I'd say I'm more comfortable in a relationship than not in one.
I guess it's just like finding a dude who isn't insecure about your past, right?
I've never had guys not want to like date me because of like the porn thing. I feel like because I'm so different in real life, like they don't even think about me like that once they get to know me. But sometimes it is like with my ex, he'd get very upset. Like, so we were together before I did porn. And then we broke up because he went to prison for a period of time. And then he got out and I had already quit porn. So we got back together. And the first few months were really, really difficult for him. Like,
Because while he was in prison, you were shooting.
yeah, but he was telling me
Sounds horrible.
he'd call me on the phone and like he broke up with me though before he went to jail, so he couldn't have any say about like me shooting porn or anything. Cause
Is
he's
there
the
a
one that
chance you
left
just
me.
spite fucked all those dudes on camera?
Because he went to jail.
Well, the way that he broke up with me wasn't nice.
So maybe it's quite possible. Maybe it's your.
I think that I
That
felt
dude's fault.
I felt like abandoned by him, and so I was just like, because I told you that I wanted to do porn whenever I was 14, and then I didn't do it for a while because I was with my ex, and then also everyone was like, you should try going to school and all this stuff. So I tried that first, and I tried putting off doing porn, and so I guess whenever he broke up with me and just like left me, I was like, well, no one cares about me anyway, so I'm just gonna go and do this. And then yeah.
Blessing. I was gonna say and a curse, but like
But I
not
don't-
really.
Yeah, I don't think it was like a spite thing. It was more like a sad thing. Like, he doesn't care about me, so why should I care about myself? And I'm just gonna go do this. But it turned out really well for me. So
I think part of the reason maybe also is because you're not shooting anymore.
Oh, what? Yeah. I mean,
Right.
that's the reason why we're dating.
Like
That's
if she was still shooting,
no, we wouldn't be dating. She knows that, and it's that's not me saying like you'll never do porn again. It's as long as we have a relationship together, she won't be shooting scenes. Do you know what I'm saying? And like if she found that she wanted to shoot scenes and that was more important to her, I would say I would give her my full blessing. Well, now at this point I'd probably be quite upset because I would want to lose her, but like I want her to be successful and be happy in her life and whatever that is. But I think also there's a lot of people. A lot of men maybe watching this show right now or who watch my content who have comments to make about her past, when in reality, like given the opportunity, any one of those guys would drop to their fucking knees and wife her up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like those are empty promises. As you said, you've never had a problem with a guy in the past once you guys have interest in each other where they say, oh, your past or what you're currently doing affects that.
Yeah, I mean, I would understand if I'm still shooting. Like, for example, I told you I was talking to that one guy, Tommy, who I really liked. And, like, I was working on months, like, getting him to date me. Like, he didn't want to because he was friends with, like, my ex. And then come to find out he had a girlfriend that I didn't know about. But I was, like, so close. And, like, I, like, worked on him for, like, months and months. And, like, he was finally going to date me. But he still had a girlfriend. So I signed the Brazzers contract. And whenever I did that, I was like, I can't, like, have him break up with his girlfriend and then, like, I go and do this. So I sort of like pushed him away because I knew that I'd be fucking up his life if like.
Noble.
Yeah.
If you're gonna shoot again.
Yeah.
And then when we started talking, because this is definitely a huge
Yeah.
topic. People that are fans of yours have been waiting for this new Brazzers content. Have you talked about this at all? I mean, we talked about it a little bit on
You talked about it.
on No Jumper, right? On No Jumper. She wasn't there for that, but yeah, what happened with the Brazzers contract, and I mean, what happened there?
I don't think that I was ever actually gonna do it. I was like breaking up with my husband. Like I was feeling bored in life, kind of like the dancing thing. And they like offered me all this money and like all this stuff. And like, I was just like, this seems like it'll be exciting and offer like a spice to my life. But also because I have that issue with like body fluids and I just don't really want to have sex with a bunch of like random people, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't think I actually would have been able to do it, honestly.
She has this strange anxiety that I guess came about recently of body fluids. But
is
how is that?
fascinating.
I don't understand how
understand.
you went from like being so over comfortable with it and just cool with anything to a point where you don't want it anywhere near you now. Because
I've seen some of the most disgusting cum shots. Like,
what you have talked about these. You had one that looked like mashed potatoes, I think you said. Yeah.
no, it was like boogers. And luckily it didn't land on me. It was a scene with 2 other girls. It was a VR scene and we were sitting on like a rock in a pool and he was supposed to come on our faces. And luckily it didn't get on me, but I just saw it on the other girls and I started gagging.
You got post-traumatic
Yeah, and I think that was the
Cum
point
disorder.
where I was like,
PTCD.
I don't
PTCD.
want cum in my mouth anymore or on my face. And I think I started like dodging it at that point.
Imagine being the actor, the male actor, and like you've always had willing participants, and now you have this like person that's like playing Frogger. They're like, bloop, bloop, bloop. Gotta be faster than that. Just cum shots are just shooting all over the place, missing.
And I think
It's
people
asteroids, bro. You know the game Asteroids?
I think people started noticing too because they were like, "Why isn't Lana letting it get in her mouth anymore?"
Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa.
That's his reaction when he quite literally has no idea what the fuck to say to something like that.
Wow, dude.
I don't know. That's crazy.
And I'm also looking over at the one day when our sound guy who monitors what's said on this podcast isn't here to listen, and Danny is just listening to all of this.
our Christian, sweet, pure
virgin
Danny.
And this was a great day to have Danny do it.